Well, good afternoon. Welcome to May. I know we're a few days into the month already, but technically on the calendar, we are in the middle of spring. And this time of year in Las Vegas, it really starts to feel like summer. Daily highs are typically in the high 80s and the low 90s, like they are going to be today, mid 80s today. But at night, you can always expect the nice cooler temperatures, 20 to 30 degrees cooler. These temperatures are perfect for a Vegas pool day, and we're obviously anticipating here in the coming weeks, early June, for those temperatures really to rise and see above 100 degrees for the typical three plus months in the summer. So us locals are really enjoying this May weather. So if you're looking for to move or are already interested in moving to Las Vegas, then you found the right channel. My name is Pepe. I'm a Las Vegas real estate professional and a relocation specialist, and I communicate with people daily who are interested or are in the process of moving to Las Vegas from all over the country and the world. So if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you subscribe here below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market here in Las Vegas, with so much really evolving pretty much daily. There is never a dull moment here in Las Vegas. The month of May is Military Appreciation Month. And every day really should be a Military Appreciation Day. I want to thank you, all of our current and former service members, for your dedication and sacrifice to our amazing country. I recognize that our freedom comes at an extremely high cost. I am forever grateful for your service. As a way of saying thank you to all those who serve in the U.S. Armed Forces, many Las Vegas hotels and restaurants provide year-round discounts to active duty military, members of the National Guard and Reserve, retired military, prior service, and spouse of eligible military personnel as well. Again, it's the least that Las Vegas can do is, again, show a token of our appreciation with the discounts at the local establishments and casinos and resorts. So make sure, if you follow one of those categories, that you take advantage of those benefits that you so richly deserve. Switching gears here a bit, I wanted to provide a quick update on mortgage rates. The Fed met last week and emphasized that inflation has remained stubbornly high in recent months, and said it doesn't plan to cut interest rates until it has greater confidence that the price increases are slowing substantially to its 2% target that it set last year, I believe. The rate is still at 2-decade high of roughly 5.3%. The central bank's overreaching message was that they need to see more evidence is needed that inflation is slowing to the Fed's target level before the policymakers would begin cutting rates, which reflects an abrupt shift. As recently as their last meeting on March 20th, the officials had projected 3 different rate cuts or reductions in 2024, likely starting in June. But given the persistence of inflated inflation, financial markets have now expect just 1 rate cut this year, likely in November, according to future prices tracked by CME Fed Watch. We're also going to need to keep a close eye on the Consumer Price Index, which is another metric used to gauge inflation. CPI measures the percentage change in the price of goods and services consumed by households. So we'll again continue to keep a close eye on CPI moving forward. So how does this affect mortgage rates, which I know is probably on a lot of your minds? Well, by cutting back its holdings, the Fed could contribute to keeping longer-term rates, including mortgage rates, higher than they would be otherwise. The number of jobs created, which was much lower than expected at 175,000 versus the 240,000 that was expected. The unemployment rate came back slightly higher than expected, also at 3.9% versus 3.8% that was expected. And wage gains came in slightly lower as well at 0.2% versus the 0.3% that was expected. The idea here is that if unemployment is going up and wage gains are going down, inflation will likely will also go down closer to the Fed's 2% target. When inflation goes down, rates typically follow suit. In a bit of a surprise, we have seen some good movement in mortgage rates in the past week due to Jerome Powell's commentary after their meeting, with rates at 6.875%, which is down from a week ago that was at 7.25%. So that's good news, but again, with rates still being upper sixes, not where a lot of us expect them to be heading into the middle part of this year. I also wanted to point out that even though rates are in the upper sixes, that doesn't mean there isn't opportunity available for you to creatively secure lower rates. Case in point, I just negotiated a 2-1 buy down for 2 different clients moving from California here to Las Vegas. They're going to have a 2.99% rate in the first year. And then the second year, it's going to move up to 3.99. And then years 3 through 30, it will be at 4.99. Still a phenomenal rate, given that rates are currently in the upper sixes. This was also in addition to $8,000 in closing costs that we were able to negotiate as well. So if you're looking for a real estate professional who has your best interest in mind, no pun intended, and will turn over every stone to get you the best deal in every financial metric possible, you know who to call. Well, let's jump in to some Las Vegas housing stats, along with the upcoming events happening around town during this busy month of May. And if you have any questions, feel free to engage with me here and ask any questions or leave any comments here as we go along. So let's get into the some statistics here. The momentum that we saw in activity has continued to build as the spring season has progressed, as you will see here in the number of new listings and contracts, which, speaking of new listings, saw a nice bump. In March, we had 2,546 new listings. In April, we have 2,862 new listings. So that's a 12.4% increase month over month. Any increase in new listings is obviously good news for buyers who have had trouble finding that perfect home over the last number of months and really the last couple of years due to such low inventory. And speaking of low inventory, these are for single family homes. March, we have 3,707. In April, we got a small bump to 3,832, which equates to a 3.3% increase. Now, while this is a positive change month over month as well, a small increase doesn't change the fact that we still have a severe lack of inventory. Now, remember, housing inventory is a snapshot at the end of the month. This snapshot factors in new listings, new contracts, canceled escrows, listings put on hold, and expired listings as well. So when you add all of that up, the inventory isn't as high as you'd expect after another solid month of new listings that we've experienced. Of the 3,832 homes, 2,726 are under 700,000, 497 are between 700,000 and 1 million, and then 609 are over 1 million. Next is months of supply, which again refers to the number of months it would take for the current inventory of homes on the market to sell given the current sales pace. Now, as a reminder, 4 to 5 months of supply would be considered average. A lower number means that means that buyers are dominating the market with relatively fewer sellers, and a higher number means that there are more sellers than there are buyers. In March, we had 2.1 months of supply. In April, that fell slightly to exactly 2 months, which is a 5% decrease. Now, we have been hovering around 2 months of supply for quite some time now. And this figure means that we continue to be in a seller's market with low inventory and stronger buyer demand. And I sound like a broken record every time I say that, but it really is that the market that we continue to see. Low inventory, stronger demand. The average days on the market back in March was 38 days, while April is 33 days. Now, being in the middle of peak buying season, it's not a surprise whatsoever to see this number drop and should remain in this range, if not even lower, for the coming months. New contracts or homes that went into escrow, otherwise known as a pending listing, In March, we had 3,116. And in April, we saw 3,110. Now, that's a 0.02% drop, which is close enough to say pending listings were flat month over month. Given the large 15% increase that we saw in March, it's good to see that we've sustained this higher figure in April, and hopefully we'll see this number even rise in May. Always good to see higher levels of activity. The next metric I want to discuss is the sales price to list ratio. In March, the figure was at 99.3%. In April, it was 99.5%. So sellers were ever so slightly less flexible in April as they were in March, which they really didn't even have to be with inventory where it's at. Sellers, if its homes are priced right, do not need to be flexible in their rates whatsoever. I should say their price point. Next is homes sold. In March, we had 2,079 homes sold. In April, we had 2,217 homes sold. That's a 6.6% increase after a 10% increase the month prior. So it's really good to see the number of homes sold on the right trajectory, especially after experiencing record low sales in 2023. Now, look for this number to continue to rise as well, as since we're still in the peak spring season. Now remember, these are resales or new construction homes listed on the MLS, the multiple listing service. All other new construction homes, which typically make up at 1/3 of all home sales every month, are not included in these figures. So if you think about it, these numbers really don't paint a completely accurate picture of the total homes sold. I want to keep that in the back of your mind as you're thinking about or comparing month over month and seeing the total number of homes sold. Really, when you can factor in all of the new construction, there's quite a bit more homes sold than that 2217 number that I mentioned. Next is the median sales price for a single family home in March was $465,000. In April, it went up again, $473,500. This represents another 1.02% increase. Since the beginning of the year, the median sales price here in the Las Vegas Valley has risen by $28,500, or a 6.4% increase. New construction homes are also following suit, as I've seen firsthand with my clients. Prices have increased approximately $17,000 depending on the builder just within the last couple months alone. From a year-over-year perspective, home prices are up 10.1% from April of 2023. And again, as I mentioned, what's driving this demand or what's driving these prices up is that low inventory and stronger demand, again, are keeping prices elevated. This trend is not forecasted to change anytime in the near future. In fact, we are experiencing the significant home price increase year over year, and we haven't even seen any notable interest rate drops yet. So what do you think will happen once they eventually do? Well, prices will indeed keep heading in an upward trajectory. In last month's market update, I shared that Fannie Mae and Pulsenomics published the results of the Home Price Expectation Survey, which stands for, or short for, HPES. They asked more than 100 experts of economists and investment and market strategists what they think will happen with home prices moving forward. The experts said home prices are going to keep going up for the next 5 years at least, anywhere from 3.36 to 4.18% per year through 2028. Well, it's only May, and we're already surpassing those expectations, being that we're at 6.4%. Now, of course, this number can and probably will fluctuate in either direction as the year goes on. But if you're not convinced yet that buying a home in these market conditions is a wise move, maybe these numbers will get your attention. I highly recommend you don't procrastinate. Well, this gives you a good feel for how the housing market is doing. So let's switch gears now and highlight a number of higher profile events happening this month here in Las Vegas. This month is absolutely huge with a number of large and high-profile concerts specifically. So let's get with a few local events first. They include, of course, 3 different farmers markets happening every Saturday at downtown Summerlin. And you've got one every Monday at Lee's Family Forum, which is formerly the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson. And then every Thursday at the District at Green Valley Ranch. The next event is Eldorado Days Parade, formerly known as the Las Vegas Days Parade, is an annual cowboy-themed event celebrating Las Vegas's past as part of the Wild West. The parade is taking place on May 11th in downtown Las Vegas. Then there is the Caribbean Heritage Festival, where you'll be able to sample the traditions, music, and flavors of the Caribbean. Enjoy a day of outdoor performances that will include a steel drum, reggae, traditional Cuban music, and sounds from the Bahamas. This festival is taking place on May 18th at the Sammy Davis Jr. Festival Plaza. Next is put your paws up and enjoy Friends of Henderson Animal Support and the District of Green Valley Ranch for Bark in the Park in conjunction with Movies on the Green on May 18th. You're going to be able to meet some of Henderson animal care and control animals, which all dogs attending are available for adoption. So if you're looking for a new dog, this is a great event to attend on May 18th. Next is Jazz in the Park, returns for its 34th season to the Clark County Amphitheater. These free concerts include Ruben Studdard and Candace Glover on May 11th. You have Connie Han on May 18th, and you have Jared Lawson on May 25th. There are also a number of other concerts and comedy shows that are happening around town this month, as they do every month. The following is just a snapshot of who is performing. Let's start with the Adobe Live Theater at Park MGM. You've got Louis Buckus, May 8th, and Maroon 5 with multiple dates with the residency in May. Over at Allegiant Stadium, the Rolling Stones are back May 11th. That will be absolutely an outstanding show, and I'm sure that stadium will be absolutely sold out as well. At the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, you've got the Electric Daisy Carnival, which is known as EDC. It is the country's largest electronic dance music festival. It is back in town. It's here every May. This year it's May 19th through the 21st. It is sure to be a nonstop party with 300,000 festival fanatics. Over at the Sphere, Dead & Company kicks off their residency, Dead Forever, with multiple dates in May, starting on the 16th. They actually have 24 performances that run through mid-July. At T-Mobile Arena, Justin Timberlake is performing on May the 10th and the 11th. And then Tyler Hubbard, Parmalee, and Kane Brown is happening May 18th. Over at MGM Grand Garden Arena, Pearl Jam is performing May 16th, and Beach Bunny and Melanie Martinez on May the 17th. At the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, Garth Brooks' +1 residency continues with multiple dates in May, and Adele is back with multiple dates in May as well. So the Coliseum at Caesars Palace will be busy here in the month of May. Then over at the Brooklyn Bowl at the Link, you've got Carl Denson May 10th. You got Always on May 11th. Bombay Bicycle Club May 12th. Idols May 15th. Phoenix the Band May 17th. Dayseeker May 24th. So the Brooklyn Bowl, again, a really great, unique venue right in the heart of the Link, in the middle of the Strip. Will be busy as well in May. Over at Planet Hollywood at the Back Theater, the Scorpions are continuing their residency with multiple dates in May. Shania Twain is back with multiple dates in May as well. And then you get Jeff Dunham on May 24th. At the Virgin Hotel, you got Interpol May 10th, Lee Brice on May 17th, Yuri on May 18th, and Lord Huron May 25th. The Venetian Palazzo are busy in May as well. You've got the Ringo Starr and his all-star band in multiple dates in May. You got REO Speedwagon May 8th through the 11th. Nikki Glaser and David Spade with their hilarious show on May the 17th and 18th. And Jason Derulo is on May 17th and 18th, and then returns the following weekend, Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, May 24th and 25th. Then you got the Arabian Nights, also on May 25th, and Christina Aguilera on May 31st. Next is the Pearl Concert Theater at the Palms. You got Eamon Armuth, May 24th, Kenny Babyface Edmonds on May 25th. Then over at the Cosmopolitan, you've got Tony Braxton and Cedric the Entertainer on May 10th and May 12th. You've got Gabrielle Iglesias, May 24th through the 26th. And Daniel Tosh, live, May 28th. At the Westgate, you got Ellie King, May 17th through the 18th. Kool and the Gang, May 24th. And Air Supply, May 31st. Over at House of Blues, Santana continues his residency with multiple dates in May. Era is May 8th. Camelot is May 12th. And Negaraga Billiken, if I pronounce that correctly, and probably butchered that name, or band, on May the 17th. Then you got Sean Paul on May 25th. Over at Win and Encore, Duran Duran, for all you 80s fans, is back May 10th. Then you got David Blaine's Impossible Tour, May 8th, 10th, and 11th. And then Sebastian Maniscalco, who is absolutely hilarious, is performing May 25th through the 26th. Over at Resorts World, Carrie Underwood's Reflection Residency resumes with multiple dates in May. And then the Smith Center, which is a fantastic and unique venue for not only concerts, but also performing arts in downtown Las Vegas, is hosting Frankie Moreno on May 7th, Clint Holmes in By Request on May 8th, Lena Prima, and her New Orleans All-Star Band May 10th and 11th, Spectrum and Radiance Mother's Day celebration on May 12th, Mother's Day. Then you've got Jonathan Carrant, the Tony Bennett story songbook on May 15th. You've got David Perico Pop Strings Orchestra performing all the hits on May 17th. Michael Grimm on May 22nd, the Lon Brunson Band on May 24th, and Ann Hampton Calloway's Finding Beauty on May 31st. Over at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at MGM Grand, you've got Debbie Gutierrez with John Knight on May the 6th through the 12th. You've got Francisco Ramos with Lenny Schmidt May 13th through the 16th and May 19th. And of course, Brad Garrett himself is performing May 17th through the 18th and 25th through the 27th. Danny Bevins and KT Tetera is performing May 20th through 24th. And Gabrielle Routledge with Tom Mateague on May 28th through the 31st. Over at South Point Casino, the Bronx Wanderers May 7th through the 9th. The Spasmatics return May 11th and the 25th. The Formers, which are stars of the Jersey Boys show, May 15th and 16th. Then you get the Righteous Brothers, May 17th through the 19th. Jay and the Americans on May 24th through the 26th. And Frankie Moreno is also performing at South Point Casino, May 29th and 30th. Well, as for all college and professional sports events happening this month, it's a bit of a slower month for Las Vegas standards. And unfortunately, our Vegas Golden Knights were eliminated by the Dallas Stars in the NHL playoffs over the weekend. So their season and Stanley Cup title defense has come to an end. But the back-to-back WNBA champions, Las Vegas Aces, kick off their title defense this month with multiple games at the Michelob Ultra Arena at Mandalay Bay. So you want to definitely take a look at and check them out. The Las Vegas Aces have been a really dominant team last couple of years and figure to do so again in this coming season. Then you got the Las Vegas Aviators, our AAA minor league baseball team, continues their season this month with home games at the Las Vegas Ballpark in Summerlin, May the 14th through the 19th versus the El Paso team. And then you got May 28th through June 2nd versus the Sugarland Space Cowboys. So 2 different series to enjoy some great baseball over at the Las Vegas Ballpark. Then you have the Las Vegas Nighthawks. Our professional indoor football team plays games this month at Lee's Family Forum in Henderson on May 10th versus the San Diego Strike Force. And then June 1st versus the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Now, this event I'm about to mention isn't really a sport, I would say, but it's a high-profile event held every summer right here in Las Vegas, and that is the 55th annual World Series of Poker. Begins May 28th and runs through mid-July, and is being held at the Horseshoe and also Paris Hotel and Casino. Well, as always, things constantly change here in Las Vegas. New events are added and others are canceled, so be sure to stay on top of all events that are happening if you're planning on attending any of them. Every venue and resort has a complete list of all of their events on their website that you can check out. And as you can tell, there is never a shortage of concerts, shows, sporting events, or comedies for you to see should you decide to call Las Vegas home. Well, I hope you found this May 2024 market update and upcoming event schedule valuable. Make sure you subscribe below and comment if you have any questions or found this video helpful. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out our other videos on Las Vegas and the surrounding areas so you can continue to get a realistic sense of what it would feel like to live here in the Las Vegas Valley. If you're planning on moving within the next month or the next year, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even book a Zoom appointment here in the description below. Having relocated myself to the Las Vegas Valley over 15 years ago, I know firsthand all of the moving parts and nuances with picking up and starting over in a new city. That's why we are passionate about helping people just like you make a smooth and a stress-free move to Las Vegas. I can assure you, I will not let the low inventory stop me from finding you your perfect home while also negotiating optimal terms and pricing on your behalf. So thank you again for joining this live video we do every month. I look forward to, again, welcoming you back at the 1st of June for another live video with May statistics. We'll see where we stand and if the continued momentum that we're seeing with new activity, hopefully it continues. We'll see that again. We'll look at those numbers in early June. So until next time, we hope to show you around this wonderful town of Las Vegas.